she takes from her parents. If you could take from your parents, the fuck is a friend? And then now I have to get restraining orders, and I have to get this, and I can't say too much on camera because it's illegal. That she don't like in the room. I'll beat any bitch up in this class, even if they don't bother her. And I came with my hair braided just in case I need to slap a bitch. What's good, YouTube? It's Mally, and today, as you saw by the title, yes, it's not going to be a pleasant video because someone stole $400 from me. It happened to be one of my closest friends, or I think it's one of my friends. At the end of the day, I can't prove nothing, but when I tell you guys the storyline, this is why I'm here, for you guys to give me advice and help me on to figure out who it was. But I'm not going to take a lot of your time doing this little intro. It's a little quick one too, and I'm going to tell you guys the whole timeline and just tell you how everything fits together in my perception and what the principals told me and what everybody has told me and what I've seen myself and knowledge, So without further ado, my social medias will be linked down in the description down below as always. If you ever want to contact me to respond to all of my supporters, and let's just get right into the video. So how this first started was I got paid on a Tuesday. So it was a Tuesday the week of Thanksgiving. So I usually work almost every single day. I really don't have any days off. Sometimes I do. I usually have one day off a week. But even if that, I'm probably just doing social media, or I'm probably doing something else, my homework, whatever the case may be. I have a lot of things to work on. So I don't really have any time after school to go to ATM or go to the bank or whatever the case may be. So that Tuesday morning when I got paid, I was like, I'm just going to be a little late to school because I'm going to go to the ATM, take out $400, and then I'm just going to go to school and then come home and then just put it away, as I should. So, whatever. I got to school late, and I usually go to a room in my high school that's called the R&R room. So, basically, it's just a room where kids can just go to, hang out if they're having a hard day or whatever the case may be. But I just go there, because I just love being in there. I do my work in there, and I pass. So, nobody can really tell me anything. So, that's when I go in, and then I'm not going to say any names, so I'm going to give them code names. So, this girl's name is going to be... Let's just call her 400 because this is the person that I think took my money. So we're gonna call her 400, and then we're gonna call the other girl that's in the room Alibi. We're gonna call her that, okay? So sorry. So 400, Alibi, and Dela Cruz, which is the teacher, was in the room, and I walked in, and Dela Cruz and 400 asked me, they were like, oh, why are you late? I was like, oh, I just went to the ATM to get $400 because, I'm about to go home and just put in my safe, whatever the case may be, just to save up, because, if I have it in my account, I really just feel like, I'm going to spend it, because I usually buy everything online, so if I have it in cash, I can't really spend it, so it's an easier way for me to save, it's more logical. And, them being my close friends, and, I'm just like, oh, I got $400, because I don't expect you to take it, So whatever. So that's when, I just told him, I was like, oh, look, I got $400, whatever the case. And like I said, they're my close friends. I'm not expecting anything of it. So that's when I sit down, and my friend just happens to come in. I'm going to call her Kayla. So Kayla happens to come in, and then I'm just talking to her, whatever the case may be. I'm like, oh, Kayla, look at the shoes that I want to get. And mind you, at this time, I'm going to get to it. So that's when I'm just talking to Kayla. I'm like, Kayla, look at the shoes that I'm getting for my outfit. That's supposed to go with this red jacket. I'm like, oh, look at those shoes. They would be so cute with this, whatever the case may be. Just telling her, informing her about my shoes. And she's requesting some shoes that would look better. And I'm just like, oh, yeah, these are cute. We're just having a simple kiki back and forth conversation. So that's when Alibi's friend comes in. Let's just call her Curly Head. So Curly Head comes in. So now it's 400, Alibi, Kayla, Curly Head, and Dela Cruz in this room. So then that's when us four, the kids, not Dela Cruz, the four of us, we just sit there and we start playing Monopoly. So, we're playing Monopoly. My bag's next to me. I know it's next to me. Nobody's touching it. Whatever the case may be. So that's when it's around 11, let's say it's 11:32, because that's when we switch classes to the next class. So we stay in there a little bit extra, till 11:36. So that's when the room that we have to go to next, our next class, because Dela Cruz said he has something to do at this time. So we just go to our class and we come back for lunch. So that's when it's 11:36, 11:37, we finally leave the room, and I check my bag in the hallway. I check my bag, and I'm like, oh, okay, my money's in here, just to check my money, because if I'm carrying around $400, I want to make sure my money is still there. So that's when 400 just makes the comment, you stay checking that money. And to me, that just feels like jealousy. At the end of the day, it could fall in the same place as, oh, just being a good friend, oh, stop checking your money. But the way it was said, it didn't seem like that. It felt envious, So I'm okay, and I put it back. But I didn't take out my money all the way, so I just want to be that very clear. There's only 2 people that know that I have money. Remember, when I first came in, and they asked me why I was late, and I said I went to the ATM, so it was only 400 and Alibi that knew I had money, and Dela Cruz, but he's a teacher, he don't really care. So I just want to make that very clear. So I checked my bag at 11:37, and my money was in there, And I just opened my bag like real quick when I was walking and just checked it. So it wasn't out in the open. Nobody saw that I had money, whatever the case may be. So that's when we go into Mr. Garcia's class, which is one of our capstone teacher. So that means it's me, 400, Alibi, and Kayla. We all go into that class, and Curly Head. So we all go into that class, whatever, when we're like, oh, let's just finish Monopoly. We'll finish Monopoly in here because it was getting real intense. And then that's when 400 tries to sit next to me, and Alibi just says, oh, no, we should sit in the same places so, it won't get mixed up during the game. We should sit in the same places because Alibi was sitting next to me. And Kayla and 400 was sitting across from me. So they could have never touched my bag. So the only person that was next to me was Alibi. But she didn't touch my bag because I went in my bag, got my lip gloss, my wallet was in there, everything was in there. Everything was perfectly fine. So whatever, we go past, and it's like 12:52 now, right? It's about that time because that's when 11:32 to 12:52 is our class. It's an hour long, so we go from 11:30. I'm stupid. That's like an hour and 20 minutes, but you know what I mean. So it's 12:52 now, and we leave, whatever, and I go back to Dela Cruz's room for lunch with 400. So I'm only with one person at this time. I'm only with 400. So that's when I'm just playing with Dela Cruz. I'm playing chess with him, because I'm not really paying attention to my bag. And mind you, if my close friend is in the room with me, why would I be thinking about my bag? I'm just not thinking about my bag. I could put it all the way over there right next to you. I could tell you to go inside my bag and get something. I'm not expecting you to take the money, So that's when I just put my bag over there. I'm not really paying attention to it. We're playing chess, and this is why I can't say I can't prove anything. I can't. But I'm going to tell you guys the facts. And you just put two and two together. We're not stupid. We're grown. We're not dumb. So that's when 400 is rustling through their bag, whatever the case may be, and just I don't know if it's their bag or if it's my bag. They're just rustling through a bag. That's all I know. So that's when they happen to leave and they say, oh, I gotta go do my edges, like in the bathroom, whatever the case may be. And I'm like, okay, and mind you, to me I'm not even gonna get to that. I'm gonna tell you all the facts after, all the unusual activity, whatever. So they leave, they're about to leave, and then two boys come inside the room, whatever the case may be, and they just come in for a quick second, just wander around, like, right next to me, but my bag's, like, over here, so I'm not even really worried about it. So they're over here, whatever, then they leave, whatever. So then 400 comes back, and then Mr. Dela Cruz told us to leave, we have to leave around 1:30 because he has a meeting at 1:30. So we left around, like, 1:24, whatever the case may be, and I sat down to the at the security desk right next to his room. So I'm checking my bag. It's like 1:25 now. I'm checking my bag, and then 400 makes another comment like you stay checking that bag. Like you keep what do you mean? Why do I keep checking my bag? I have $400 in my bag. I need to keep checking to make sure it's there. You're like, I'm just making sure it's a safety precaution. So, that's when I checking my bag and I can't find my wallet. So I'm like, what the fuck? Like, where's my wallet at? So now I'm just going sick, whatever. So then I leave and I go to and mind you, that security desk I was at, it's just like a little table. It's not like the real security desk. So I go to the actual security desk at the front of the school, and I'm friends with security. I'm like, guys, I don't know where my wallet is. I need to watch the cameras. I'm just saying a whole bunch of stuff. So this is when 400 departs from me. She goes to the vice principal's office, whatever. And mind you, Curly Head and Alibi, they're always in that room with Dr. Kate, the vice principal. Always just in there, chatting with her, whatever the case may be. They're like best friends. So that's when 400 comes to the room, and Dr. Kate is just like, oh, Alibi, why don't you go to the bathrooms and go look for the wallet, because this is when everybody's notified that my wallet's missing. And I guess 400 was like, oh no, I'll go to the bathroom and look, whatever. So then Alibi was like, oh no, I'll go help you look in the bathroom, where he's both our friend, we can go look together. And then 400's like, no, I'll go by myself. I don't need anybody to come with me. Why? I don't really get it. I don't really get it. So I didn't know this at that time. So that's when she comes back. I guess she comes back to that room, and she's like, oh, you could check me, whatever, you could search me, whatever. So now I'm not knowing any of this. I'm at the security desk trying to look at the camera, see if any suspicious activity, and whatever. So then 400 comes back to me, and she's like, oh, oh my God, you okay, whatever. So then I call my mom. My mom talks to her. Then she's like, oh, you go look in the bathrooms, go dump out the trash cans, whatever the case may be. So we go into the girls' bathroom, because I can go into the girls' bathroom at my school. Go into the bathroom, and they dump out the trash can, and my wallet just happens to be there with no money inside of it. So now I'm just like what the fuck? I'm just so done. I'm so over it, and I'm just quick to make assumptions because I'm just trying to, put together a story quickly. And I'm mad, so I'm not thinking properly, and it's just a whole bunch going through my head. So that's when I'm just like, okay, let me backtrack. Now here is I'm gonna fill in all the spots for you. Like I said, we were playing Monopoly. Then we went to Garcia's room, 400, and Kayla sat across from me, and then we left to the next class. I was only with 400. I was only with 400 in Dela Cruz's room from 12:52 to 1:25 when I figured out my bag was missing. So I was just trying to fill in all the pieces. So I sat there. I was getting mad, and then I was like, wait, Kayla, when we were playing Monopoly, when we came in the first time, we were in Dela Cruz's thing, bringing Monopoly over to Mr. Garcia's room. When we were in there the first time, Kayla happened to leave to the bathroom for like 45 minutes. So I'm like, okay, like, dang, she's taking a shit. And mind you, Kayla and 400 are both girls. So I was like, dang, she's taking a shit. Like, damn, like, what the hell? So she comes back, whatever the case may be. We start playing again. Then we go to Mr. Garcia's class. So now this is after I check my bag. So it's like 11, maybe 11:50, around that time. Kayla just happens to leave again to go take another shit. So I'm like, what the hell? Like, that's weird to me. So I'm like, wait, she went to go take 2 shits. And she went to the bathroom that my wallet just happened to be found in. And like, come on, that just doesn't make sense. You took a shit in the matter of 20 minutes, 2 of them, 2 long shits. I'm like, something's up. So that was my first assumption. So I'm like mad. I'm like, oh, and I told Kayla about my money in the morning. But mind you, remember what I told you guys? I was talking to her about my shoes, but I couldn't think properly because I was so mad. I was just like, what the fuck, like this and that. So I'm like, oh, because I didn't remember. I didn't remember what I told her. Like I remember telling her something, but I don't remember what I told her. So that's when I'm like, oh, I told her about my money in the morning, this and that. It could have been her. She was in the bathroom for mad long. And I'm telling this to 400. And 400's like, wow, that is true. Like, she was in there for mad long. That's mad grimy of her. I told you to stop being friends with all these people, this and that. I'm just like, so much going through my head. So I'm just like, wow, like, that's crazy. But then deep in my heart, I'm sitting here like, that's not her character. She's never stole, she don't steal. She's never stolen from anybody. She's been over my house multiple times. It's nothing. It's just like, like, it's not. It doesn't seem like her, especially because she has a lot of stuff going on as of the moment right now. She's dealing with family loss, whatever the case may be right now. So it doesn't make any sense for it to be her. So that's when I'm just like, okay, you know what? Forget it. I don't even care anymore. I go home. So now it's Thanksgiving Day. So I'm like, it's a couple days past. I think it's 2 or 3 days past now. Because I think Thanksgiving was on a Friday or was on a Thursday. I don't know. It was either one of those. So 2 to 3 days. So I'm home. I'm like, you know what? Let me talk to Kayla. So I call Kayla. I call my girl best friend Gabby. I call Trinice. We're all on the phone talking. So that's when I'm like, hey, I just want to let you know that I personally don't think it's you, Kayla. I really don't think it's you, It just doesn't make sense for it. I know your brother just died. It just doesn't make any sense. And you've been over my house. And you have a lot of things going on. I know that's not the type of person that you are. So I'm like, can you just, like, help me, whatever. And she's like, Malachi, you never even told me that you had money. So that's when I'm like, wait. You're right. I never told you I had money because she reminds me of the shoes. I'm like, oh, I did tell you about only the shoes. I never told you that I had money. And mind you, whenever I go to school, I always switch up my bag. I never carry the same bag. Like, I either have a book bag, or I have a duffel bag, or I have a pink duffel bag, or I have a blue duffel bag, or I have a green duffel bag, or I'll have, I change up my thing all the time. Nobody knows what my wallet looks like. So, because I never pull out my wallet at all. So the only person that knew what my wallet looked like was 400 in Alibi. So those are the only 2 people that I know what my wallet looked like. Because I showed them in the morning. You remember when I went to the ATM. So that's when I'm like, okay, that's weird. So that's when I'm like, okay, so then why were you gone for 45 to 50 minutes long? I don't understand that. So that's when she's talking to she sends me the screenshots of me and her friend, and she's like, oh, I was in the bathroom smoking with Ruby. So then that's when I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense because, it's something that she normally does, she's stressed out with, the death of her brother. She's even done it before that. So, if she wants to smoke with whatever the case may be, she's 18. She always does it. I've been in the bathroom with them, it's not nothing new. So it's just like, come on, I know that's the truth. So she's also sent a message to Ruby around the same time that I checked my bag. So I checked my bag at 11:37. She sent a message to Ruby around 11:40 saying, oh, come meet me in the bathroom, we want to go smoke, videos of them smoking, them two. So I was like, it can't be her because her intentions were never that. Her intentions were going to the bathroom to fucking smoke. So it was nothing bad. It was never anything. So I'm like, okay, that explains it. So now I'm really starting to think. I was like, Kayla and 400 always sat across from me. When we were playing Monopoly, we were always trying to sit. They were always sitting across from me. So my bag was always on the side of me. There's no way that they could have touched my bag. Except one period of time. And that was from 12:52 to 1:25. And who did I tell you I was with at that time? 400. So that was the only time anybody could touch my bag. And mind you, 400 wanted to sit next to me when we were playing Monopoly in Mr. Garcia's room. But Alibi, she was like, oh no, sit across from him so we could just play how we were playing before. So that also seemed weird to me. I don't know if that was giving her the opportunity to try to take something. But, Alibi just said sit across from me. So now I'm just like, okay, now let's backtrack and let's fill in the pieces. So I came in the morning and I said, hey, I went to the ATM. I showed 400 my money. Alibi never seen my money. But she heard us talking about it because, she's over here, we're over here, I'm talking about it. She never actually seen the money. She just know I had it. So I show 400. So that's when I'm like, okay, that makes sense. So then that's when Kayla came in, Curly Head came in, we all started playing Monopoly. 400 and Kayla sat across from me. They couldn't have touched my bag then. I checked my bag at 11:37. 400 wanted to sit next to me, but Alibi said, no, do not sit next to him because, we'll just play in this. We'll sit the same way we was playing in Della Cruz's room. So that's when Kayla leaves to the bathroom for her another 45-minute shit. This is her second one at this time. But I check my bag after that because I get my lip gloss. And everything's in there. Everything's perfectly fine. Nothing's missing. So then that's when that happens. So that means, okay. And mind you, this time, now I know that Kayla was in the bathroom smoking with Ruby. So I'm like, okay, that means the only time my bag could have been touched was from 12:52 to 1:25. So I realize this all now. So I'm like, okay, who was with me at that time? So then I'm narrowing down the time frame even a little bit more because my other two like boyfriends, not boyfriends, but boyfriends, like they're boys and my friends. Two of my boyfriends, they come in, Alvin and Khalil. They come inside and whatever the case may be, and they're just walking around. And I'm pretty sure if they seen 400 in my bag, whatever the case may be, and they would have said something to me like, why are you in his bag? So, but mind you, they came in about 1:10ish, 1:15ish, because they had to leave quick because Dela Cruz said, you guys gotta get out, whatever. So that means 12:52 to at least 1:10, which is about how much? 18 minutes, 20 minutes? That's about that time. We were all alone. Me, 400, and Dela Cruz. And he bought us lunch, so we were having potato balls and empanadillas, whatever the case may be, eating, just having a good time. I was playing chess. Once again, my bag was over there. Now let me tell you the abnormal behavior. So, that's when 400 never, when I tell you never, goes to the bathroom to do their hair. Never. She always usually just puts her phone up, swoops her edges, fixes her hair, whatever the case may be, on her phone, just right in Dela Cruz's room. She don't like leaving that room. She likes just staying there. She never really goes to the bathroom. So it's abnormal for her to go to the bathroom and go do her edges in our big ass mirror, because our mirror is like big as fuck, like it's huge. Why do you need that big ass mirror when you get your phone right there and you always usually do that? So that's just like abnormal behavior for me. So like I said, I wasn't paying attention, but it's just like, she's over there in a bag rustling, and then she happens to leave. So that's when I'm like, okay, that just seems weird to me. So then that's when I'm checking the cameras, whatever, and they're like, oh, she never went in there with a backpack. And mind you, she had leggings on, a puffer coat, and a crop top. So she could have put it in the back of her jacket, whatever the case may be, anything. So they're checking the tapes and whatever, and they said, oh, she only went into the bathroom with a toothbrush. You are a black girl. What are you doing your edges with? Water? There's absolutely no way. There's no way that you went in the bathroom to do your edges with just water. There's no gel, no edge control. You're the only person in the bathroom doing your edges with only a toothbrush, and you're mixed. That makes no sense to me at all. So that's why I'm like, that makes no sense. You went into the bathroom, you're doing something that you don't normally do, that's one. Then you went into the bathroom with no products to do your hair. What? I don't understand. Then when I'm gone, when I go to the security desk, now like I said at 1:25, I'm like man, I go to the security desk to check the cameras, and she goes to Dr. Kate, with Alibi and Curly Head inside that room, and that's when she says that, oh no, I'll go check by myself. So what that seems like is like now it's going crazy because it's like, oh, now it's becoming a bigger situation. So now you have to go get rid of the wallet. That's why you want to go buy to yourself, you know? Because then when she comes back, she's so adamant for people to search her, like, oh, like, you could check my bag now. Like, I don't really care. You could check me. Like, you check my bag. Why are you so adamant after you just came from the bathroom? Why? I don't really understand. So I'm like, that's weird. Like, that's just weird. And then mind you, when my mom was like, oh, go dump out the trash cans, whatever, whatever. 400 was like, oh, Malachi, come with me. We can go look together and we'll find it. So we went to that bathroom. She dumped out the trash can, and that's when the wallet was there. So what that seems to me is you just told, and mind you, she had my phone, but you're not gonna steal my phone. I mean, walk away with it. Why do I need to come with you to go verify that you found the wallet? It just makes no sense to me, because you just told Alibi, like, no, I'll go to the bathroom myself. Like, you don't need to come with me. I'll go myself. But you want me to come with you. You have my phone, but go walk with my phone. I mean, you're not gonna steal my phone with my parent on it, are you? So that's when So what that seems to me is like you brought me to the bathroom to make it seem like when you find it, we find it together, so you can't. There's no way you could steal it, and that's what it seems to me. And mind you, 400. I'm gonna tell you what the type of people that 400 are and Kayla are. So they both have big situations going on as it is. They both have family problems. Even with all the family problems that Kayla has going on, she's never been the type of person to steal. She's never been the type of person to ever do me wrong, and she's done me wrong before, but she's never stolen anything. She's been in my house multiple times. Nothing's ever went missing. I had money in front of her just sitting there. It's nothing. It's not part of her character. She has a job. She with the loss of her brother, whatever the case may be, she has a GoFundMe, whatever, and they made a lot of money from that, and not all of it goes to the funeral. Some of it goes to the family, and sometimes, so they're financially stable. They don't really need anything, and she has the job. She works for her stuff. She's hardworking, and mind you, she's been my friend since 7th grade. And it's like, then you have 400. You steal from your parents. You steal from a friend. You steal from whatever the case may be, and you've done that before. And then you have a boyfriend, and then you flirt with another boy at school. And then it's like you have this, and then it's like you're just very ignorant, because like, mind you, before even Kayla came into that room that day, I called Kayla, and I was like, Kayla, you should come meet Dela Cruz, whatever the case may be, because he's a great support person. It would just be great for you, whatever the case may be, because after your brother just died, it's great. He's an uplifting person. He always looks out for you. Make sure your grades are good. He's always there for you. You should just meet him. And then 400 is in the back, like, no, don't let her, Dela Cruz, you better not let her in. Who are you to be saying that? If anybody needs support right now, we got things going on, me and you. But if anybody needs support right now, it is her. So don't try to belittle her. Then she comes in and she talks about her brother dying. Then you're hugging her, kissing her, this. But then when I say, oh, she was gone for 45 minutes or mad long. Oh, she's grimy. You need to watch who your friends are. You switched up 3 times in the matter of one school day. So to me, that's just wishy-washy behavior. You have this manipulative personality. You lie, you cry, you do all this extra. So I know in my heart it wouldn't be Kayla, especially because she never had the chance, she never had the time. And mind you, Kayla always leaves at 1 o'clock every single day. She always does it. It's nothing new. She's done it before her brother died, and she's done it all the time. 1 o'clock she always leaves because she just happens to leave. Her parent picks her up and she leaves. So you trying to make it seem like, oh, Kayla leaves because, Kayla left at 1 o'clock. Like, that's crazy, before everybody else got searched. She always leaves at 1 o'clock. It's nothing new. So like me just bringing up a suggestion, trying to figure out the scenario, then you dragging it just makes you seem more guilty, because it's like, why are you trying to pin it on her when realistically it's you, because you're the only storyline that makes sense. Once again, I can't prove that it's anybody. I can't. But I know deep down in my heart who it is. And then you're on the bus. 400 is on the bus, and she's making comments, whatever the case may be, and she's talking about she wants to buy her boyfriend a $300 coat. How are you going to buy your boyfriend a $300 coat and you don't have a job? And Kayla has a job. You don't have a job. You've been unemployed for 3 to 4 weeks. So how does that make sense? How? You don't have any money. So I'm with Kayla in class, whatever the case may be. Like this is a couple of days ago now. So I'm in class with Kayla, whatever the case may be. She leaves. She goes talk to 400, I guess, whatever. And she's like, oh, we should come to Dela Cruz so we can all have a conversation. I say, before we go into that class, Kayla, I want to let you know she's going to cry. She's going to talk about how she's involved with the cops. She's going to talk about she's going through things. She's going to talk about how she doesn't need money. She's going to talk about how long me and her been friends. She's going to talk about this, how much she's been there for me. She's going to say all of that stuff and cry and just make it seem like that. I know manipulator when I see one. My mom's manipulated me before. My dad, my brother. You guys all know Marquise. And that's not shade to Marquise, but I'm just saying, everybody's done it to me. I know manipulation when I see it. I'm not stupid. Go into that classroom. We have a marker, so we pass it around so we have chances to speak because we all want to talk at the same time. So, we need structure. It's her turn to speak. She's talking, starts crying. The stuff I'm involved with the cops, and I just can't believe you would think this of me. We've been friends for so long, and this and that, and this and that, and Malachi, I would never do that to you, but I can't believe you would think this of me, and I know it's bullshit. And I said, it's my turn to speak. They both said their part, whatever, and I say, listen, Kayla has been my friend longer than you have. 400. She's been my friend since 7th grade, even my friend since 8th. It doesn't matter what time. I wanted to fight both of you at one point. I fell out with both of you numerous of times. So it's nothing new. Stop trying to make it seem like you've been my friend longer. You've held it down more when Kayla's been doing the same thing that you have been doing. So stop making it seem like it's Kayla. It's not Kayla. It's 400. It's you. And I told her, I said, I know manipulation when I see it. I know people that cry and try to lie themselves out of situations because they can't live with the guilt of themselves. I know that. I know that feeling, and I know how it feels because I've seen it before. Like, come on. Like, out of all the people to take from, you take from the person that's been there for you, that laughs with you in school, that supports you, that holds you down. At the end of the day, I hope that 400 lasts you a lifetime. Because you make a lot more money asking. And she tried to say that. She's like, Malaka, we have that close enough relationship that I would just ask. But you're the only person that makes sense. So I told her, I said, I know manipulation, I know gaslighting, I know all of this stuff when I see it. And that's why the reason I'm Dundee being your friend. Because at the end of the day, now it's not about the 400. Because I'm giving you a chance right now to sit there and say, listen, I took the 400 because I needed it. Because if you give me a story like that, and even if you want to lie about that story, I did take the 400 because my mom was in the hospital and she's on death row or something like that, whatever the case may be, I believe that a lot more and I have a lot more sympathy. But if you just continue to lie when the storyline only fits one person, and mind you, you guys might say, oh, it could be alibi because she also knew that you had the money. When I checked the camera, she never went into that bathroom, so it excludes her drastically, and her friend never went into that bathroom, curly head. So they're all out of the equation. The only person that knew I had money that went into that bathroom is 400. And I told you about all the unusual activity that she does. And how untrustworthy she is and manipulative is. And she takes from her parents. If you could take from your parents, the fuck is a friend? If you know your friend has this much money and you take from your parent, person that'll push you out her pussy, or a person that nuts you out his ball sack, if you could take it from them, then what does it mean for a friend? It doesn't mean shit at all. It doesn't matter how long you knew me. You knew your mom since you came out the pussy. You knew your dad since you came out his ball sack. If you could take from them, it does not matter how long you knew me. And that's why I believe it's 400, and I will never get over it. I said, if nobody's going to tell me the truth, if it was you, Kayla, or if it was you, 400, or however it was, if nobody's going to tell the truth, then you're just going to have to live with the consequences, 400, because I'm going to stick with that realization and that conclusion that it is you, because you're the only person that makes sense. Because even if that means 400 or alibi were running their mouth about my money. So either way, y'all are wrong. It's either one of y'all took it, alibi didn't because she never went to the bathroom. So it's either 400, you took my money, or you ran your mouth about my money. Either way, what's the point? You're wrong either way. So what? There's no reason. And then now I have to get restraining orders, and I have to get this, and I can't say too much on camera because it's a legal situation going on right now. But I have to get restraining orders against certain people, and I have to do this, and I can't work at the drive-thru at my job because of situations that you caused, that I didn't do anything. I literally did not do a single thing. I did not do a single thing. I never posted on social media, never spoke to anybody. I don't do nothing. I go to work. I come home, then I go to school, go to work, come home. That's it. I just passed my permit test. Had to throw that in there. Sorry. But that's all I do. Now I have to get restraining orders against men. Men! For things that I didn't do. Because I'm affiliated with you. Because I'm your friend. Why? Why? I'm not going to fight anybody. I'm not going to argue with no man and go get people. And that's so ratchet. That's so ghetto. The type of energy that you just bring around is horrible. So why would I want to be friends with that? None of my friends, I'm not going to say none, but most of my friends never benefited me. I have a few. Ken, Jelani, Nati, Jaden, Jelani, Kevin. I have, I think I said Kevin, but I have, there's probably more, but I have friends that benefit me, and I have friends that don't. Most of them don't. Angels benefited me before. I've had a lot of people that benefited me, but most of them don't. They're just my friends. We kiki, we cackle, whatever the case may be. But what do you do for me? Kayla, she's been there for me, but what has she benefited? 400, you really haven't benefited me. We laugh kiki. Alibi, same thing. Curly head, same thing. Anybody in the fucking school, same thing. Those are my friends, and I appreciate you guys. But nobody benefits me. I get everything on my own. Nobody benefits me. So what am I losing stopping this friendship? And I don't care if you did benefit me, because I do everything myself. Nobody does more than I do for myself. So if I end this friendship, what am I losing? Because most of the relationships that I come in contact with, I benefit them. It's either broken people, broken boyfriends, or whatever the case may be, and I have to fix them, which I don't have to do anything, but I end up doing it. Not me now, because I don't give a fuck now. But me before, I would fix you, and then you would go ahead and do something else. Or friends, I would give you money, whatever the case may be. I'd give you this platform, then you run off. I'm done with that. I don't do that. Nobody benefits me. I benefit a lot of people. So stopping the friendship with you, 400 or whatever the case may be, doesn't affect me. Because I'm going to be good regardless. I didn't talk to you most of the quarantine. I talked to you probably a few days when you ever asking me for money. But I don't need anybody. And it sucks because it's like I give a lot of people with the utmost respect and they still disrespect me. You touch my belongings, you want my belongings, the things that I work for, the money that I get, and you just take it without no regard. So I want y'all to tell me who y'all really think it is. If y'all think it's 400, or if y'all think it's Alibi, or if y'all think it's Kayla, or if y'all think it's Curly Head, that could be whatever the case may be. But only one story makes sense realistically. Like let's stop playing stupid. We all know. But I have to go to work, and that was that. That conversation, that mediation left off on that. I walked out. I said, Dela Cruz was like, y'all want to give each other one more hug? I said group hug. She was like, no, because I guess she just couldn't deal with that feeling. And I just hugged Kayla, and we walked out. And I said, you could stay in here and you could talk to Dela Cruz about how you feel, but I'm done. There's no reason to talk. I'm not going to be rude because I'm not the type of person that's rude. And mind you, like I said, 400 has that character around her that's a thief, that's a bad person. Somebody that she don't like in the room. I'll beat any bitch up in this class. Even if they don't bother her. Just horrible, for real. So, it's just like, no, I don't got time for that. So I was like, you do you, I'm gonna do me. I'm gonna always keep it cordial. I'm never ever gonna be the petty type. You say what you gotta say. I'm not gonna say that. You sit there and be petty behind my back. And then, oh yeah, let me just say this before even the mediation. We were in class before that day. We were in class, the class before the mediation. So we were in that class, whatever, and that's when, like, she came in, whatever, and she was on the phone, and she was just like, oh, whoever was talking about me would never say anything to my face, and I came with my hair braided just in case I needed to slap a bitch, and like, she's right behind me. This is 400 behind me. I'm saying I come here because I could slap a bitch, like that's why I came with my hair braided. It's like I'm just kidding. And then she's talking to Alibi, who was talking about me when I wasn't here. Why you gotta say all these things when I'm here? So I remove myself from the situation because I know you're trying to throw subs. You do it to every person that's in the room with you that you don't like, or whatever the case may be. I don't have time for the subs. I don't have time for none of it. I don't have time for the pettiness. I'm gonna remove myself from the situation and go do better. I don't have time for it. You bring nothing but negativity, and I'm done. So I walked out, and that was the end of it. I said I will always be cordial. Talk to me. I'm gonna talk back. We have a project to do together. We're gonna do it. But there's no reason for us to kiki. There's no reason for us to keep talking. What is the reason? So that was that. I'm short $400, but I put the money back in my account. I didn't get it back. I never got it back. Just want to make that vividly clear. But you know, I made my money back, put it back where it needed to be, and I'm always going to be blessed. And I just believe in the universe, and thank you, universe, and thank you, God, for everything that you've done for me. And I passed my permit on the first try with only one wrong. Life's just great, honestly. Dropping negativity, just dropping people, doing me, just feels great. And I couldn't be any more grateful. And thank you guys for the platform that you just given me. I love coming on here, talking, sitting here in front of a camera, just telling you guys what about me. I could literally talk about anything. You guys would watch me. I don't care if it's 10 people. I don't care if it's 1,000,000 people. I feel the same because you guys all support me. So thank you guys so much for watching, and that's the end of this video. My social medias will be linked in the description down below as always. If you want to contact me, for all of my supporters, and thank you guys so much for watching.